Good Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Nada Irampoy. I'm glad you're joining us here. Hey, we get a little break between storms. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Rani with the forecast. What a week.
It's just these periods, periods of, wet weather and then dry weather and the sun is out and then the clouds roll in, and that can all happen in one day. So that's yesterday mainly where we had a bit of everything. Today is a dry day across the board. There's no wet weather in the forecast for Tuesday, and then early Wednesday we start to see that next opportunity for rain roll in. This afternoon we'll see a little bit of a boost in temperatures from yesterday. 60s out there along the coast, upper 60s, maybe even some very low 70s inland. It's at least not coming in the form of fog. There's none of that as we start off the morning. But take a look at this. This is your chance for rain as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. The plus side here is that we are going to start to see that chance for rain dwindle by the weekend with the sun coming back out. But coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive there on that Wednesday, Thursday chance for rain, where we start to see not only rain, but mountain snow, plenty of wind out over the mountaintops. And that could cause some changes in plans for the next couple days. Back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you very much getting us ready for that. Breaking news here. We are just learning an arrest has been made in a deadly shooting in Mission Valley.
It happened just after 8 last night at the Handlery Hotel. CBS 8's Regina Guerrita live at the scene now with everything we know here this morning. Regina.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. And you can imagine how scary the situation was for other guests staying here at the hotel. Almost 10 hours later, and we're still seeing crime tape being placed near the parking lot and, of course, outside of the entrance of that hotel. Still seeing lots of police activity. But I want to get to some video here to show you what it looked like last night, because this all started around 8:30. The San Diego Police Department responded to a shooting at the Handlery Hotel San Diego. It's located at the 900 block of Hotel Circle North. Now, according to the San Diego Police Department, when officers arrived on scene, they found one person shot in the arm and another shot in the chest twice. The initial report was that the shooter had drove off in an unknown vehicle. While at the scene, officers performed life-saving measures for the person shot twice, but they unfortunately died of their injuries. Paramedics then drove the second victim to the hospital. Authorities later located a possible suspect in a car. Take a listen to what police shared with us about this information.
The shooter had actually gotten into a dark-colored vehicle. They then canvassed the lot and located that vehicle within the parking lot. They realized that vehicle was occupied. Once they gathered all the necessary resources, they called that subject out of the vehicle, and he was taken into custody without incident.
And as mentioned this morning, an arrest was made for this shooting, but of course there are still questions of why this all unfolded. That is still an investigation that is happening, assuming this is why we still see police activity here in this area. Now, as soon as we get additional information, we'll be sure to share it with you. But for now, Eric and Netta, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you very much for the update on that. President Donald Trump will address Congress tonight for the first time in his second term. He's expected to focus on the economy and Ukraine, as well as increased immigration enforcement and massive federal job cuts. This days after Trump clashed with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and amid growing anger over mass federal worker firings. Michigan Senator Elisa Slotkin will deliver the Democratic Party's formal response.
It's official. President Trump's tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China went into effect at midnight.
So now this morning, all 3 countries are responding with retaliatory tariffs. That didn't take long. CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live now in studio to tell us how this will impact all of our wallets. Chris, good morning.
We just got word that Mexico will be introducing those retaliatory tariffs. We're still waiting on details to see exactly what they could look like. But we took a lot of questions because there have been so many since a lot of the tariff talk began. We took them to an economics professor here at USD, Professor Alan Jin, and he says many items that we use every day are likely to go up in cost if they haven't already become more expensive.
Producers will eat some of that increase, but they're going to try to pass as much on to the consumer then as possible. I think you could see some adjustment in prices tomorrow. And again, some prices have already gone up in anticipation of the tariffs.
And the stock market did not take kindly to, obviously, the news that these tariffs were going to go into place. You can see the Dow Jones index yesterday closing nearly 650 points down. Now, both Mexico, Canada hit with a 25% tariff. That includes an additional 10% import duty on Canadian energy products. They were supposed to start in February, but remember, there was a deal struck with both countries on border security. Now, it's not clear if something will happen soon this time around. As for what this impacts, Mexican goods, think of agriculture. So we're talking food at the grocery store, car parts, alcohol. For Canadian goods, think of lumber, maple syrup, as well as beef products. The Trump administration also hiked tariffs on China, doubling the previous tariff of 10% to now 20%. For those of you at home wondering what is mostly made in China, there are so many products, but also for parents of young children, toys. Toys are largely made in China. Now, both China and Canada, now Mexico, issuing retaliatory measures. China issued tariffs of up to 15% on U.S. farm exports. Meanwhile, Canada promised to issue tariffs on more than $100 billion of American goods over 21 days.
Yeah, and Chris, China, Mexico, Canada, a lot of talks with the trade wars between the countries there. But there's so many other countries that we do business with. What are the chances that tariff talks are happening with these other countries?
Yeah, a lot of other trading partners, obviously. So the EU, India have been named as potential targets, and then also anyone that also imports anything from computer chips to automotive parts.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Buckle up. Thank you.
You can find more on the new tariffs on CBS 8+. Watch right now, download on your TV, and you can watch for free.
Today, the San Diego City Council will vote on a proposal to increase water rates to cover price hikes from the San Diego County Water Authority. So yeah, your water bill could be going up here. The proposed rate increase would not exceed 5.5%. The increase would result in about $6 million in revenue to the water fund. This would cover the city's increased costs of purchasing water associated with the Water Authority's rate increase for January through June of 2025. The rate increase would go into effect on May 1st. The public hearing on this will be held at 2 p.m. Well, families from across San Diego County flocking to the mountains to enjoy sledding, snowball fights, building some snowmen, and yeah, making some snow angels. The Laguna Mountain Lodge reports 4 inches of snow falling yesterday. That's pretty good, right?
The kids love it, so whenever it does snow, we try to make the visit, and it's only like an hour drive, so we think it's worth it.
CHP issued warnings about winter driving conditions. If you're heading to the snow, remember to not leave any trash behind. And then one other pro tip, you saw the young boy there in jeans doing snow angels. That is a big no-no.
Yeah, that's going to get a little
Those will get wet,
Those are not
and
waterproof.
that'll be a long drive home.
Exactly. And I mean,
change of pants at least if that's
Bring
what
the
you
snow
do.
pants.
Yeah.
this is that live look outside from Laguna Mountain Lodge. That snow is still sticking around. A couple inches that was recorded all across Southern California. We saw some of that snow in the early Monday timeframe. Now we're on to Tuesday. We're dry out there today through early Wednesday. And then for Wednesday afternoon through about Friday morning, we've got another opportunity for rain. I'd say anything left on Friday morning will likely be reserved for the mountaintops. However, Wednesday and Thursday, that chance for rain climbs to almost about as high as it gets. 90% on Wednesday, 82% on Thursday. There's about a 40% chance that we see more than an inch in the forecast. So again, when we throw all these numbers around, it's a little bit hard to get a full grip on what we're expecting. It's going to come in the form of rain, transition to snow up toward the highest elevations for about Thursday morning into early Friday. And then we're back to dry skies for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially Friday afternoon through Sunday. Another chance for rain could be hiding behind that and beyond it. However, I'd say don't look too far into that 7-day forecast. That number always tends to change when we're still about a full week out. Focus instead on what we have right here about Wednesday, Thursday. Paused on Friday, this is what we expect for that total amount of rain for Wednesday and Thursday. We're expecting about 3/4 of an inch in Oceanside, Carlsbad, Escondido, 1/2 inch for Fallbrook. When we look at areas like Alpine, Julian, upwards of an inch is likely. However, remember, towards some of those higher elevations above about 4,500 feet, which includes Palomar Mountain, Mount Laguna, Julian, kind of right on the cusp of it. There's always a chance that comes as a rain-snow mixture. Out the door right now, it's a bit chilly, especially off toward the mountains. Julian's at 32 degrees, Ramona's at 41, Mira Mesa's at 47, and Carlsbad right now at 49 degrees. Looking outside as far as traffic goes, no major crashes or collisions as we kick off your Tuesday morning. You can head to cbsa.com/traffic for a full layout of the land out there, just slowing a bit on the Coronado Bridge midspan. Taking a look at your border wait times this morning, it is going to be a long one out there at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, over 2 hours. About 2.5 hours possible. Otay Mesa Port of Entry could get you across much faster. It's only going to be about an hour to get across there.